Aileen Wuornos, the tragic story of America's most notorious first female serial killer. Welcome to The Most Evil, where we delve into the minds of history's most notorious serial killers. Today, we explore the terrifying life story of Aileen Wuornos, a person whose name has come to represent tragedy and terror. Come along as we examine the shocking depths of her transgressions and the enduring legacy she left behind. On February 29, 1956, Aileen Wuornos was born in Rochester, Michigan, into a turbulent family. Her father left the family when she was young, and her parents divorced. Due to her alcoholism, her mother frequently abandoned Aileen and her brother for extended periods of time. The siblings, who alternated between foster care and the homes of relatives, experienced instability, abuse, and neglect. Wuornos had severe emotional wounds from childhood sexual assault as well. Her violent future was predetermined by the early traumas and instability that molded her into a disturbed person. Her experience serves as a powerful reminder of the devastation caused by childhood trauma and the significance of treating mental health conditions. Aileen Wuornos went on a shocking murdering rampage in 1989 and 1990 that shocked the country. Wuornos preyed on guys in Florida, luring them in with the pretense of prostitution before shooting them dead on sight. She left a path of destruction in her wake and took the lives of 7 men in total. The way that Aileen Wuornos operated was a combination of survival instinct, desperation, and deep-seated psychological torment. Wuornos frequently used an impulsive, need-driven approach to his crimes, in contrast to many other serial killers who carefully plan out every detail of their crimes. Wuornos was a former prostitute who lived on the outskirts of society. To survive in this dangerous world, she had to rely on her survival instincts and street smarts. Men who believed they had influence over her because of her vulnerability were frequently her victims. Wuornos killed people with a sense of desperation and urgency. She would frequently use a handgun she had for protection to shoot her victims at close range. Her years of abuse and exploitation had left her with rooted wrath and trauma, which were reflected in the intensity of her attacks. Wuornos left her victims where they fell and made no attempt to hide the evidence of her murders, in contrast to some serial killers who meticulously dispose of their victims' remains to evade detection. This reckless disregard for the consequences of her acts, possibly motivated by a fatalistic perspective influenced by her traumatic history, is suggested by her lack of concern for hiding her traces. Wuornos's approach was both a way of surviving in a harsh and cruel environment and a mirror of her own inner anguish. In the face of extreme adversity, her acts were motivated by a desperate craving for power and control, leaving a path of destruction in her wake. Due to the difficulties in capturing a female serial killer, law enforcement authorities faced numerous obstacles during Wuornos's criminal investigation. Investigators were able to piece together the puzzle despite early difficulties, establishing a connection between Wuornos's victims and revealing the terrifying reality behind her spree. The arrest of Aileen Wuornos ended her reign of terror and signaled the conclusion of a statewide pursuit. Wuornos's luck finally ran out despite her wandering lifestyle and attempts to avoid detection by the authorities. The investigation took a significant turn when Wuornos's fingerprints from the crime site were connected to Richard Mallory's murder. More evidence connecting Wuornos to the crime included Mallory's abandoned automobile, which he had taken after his death. Wuornos was captured by law enforcement on January 9, 1991, at the Last Resort, a motorcycle pub located in Port Orange, Florida. After being taken into custody on an unpaid warrant for an unrelated incident, she shocked investigators by confessing to killing Mallory. Wuornos made a terrifying confession that exposed the full scope of her misdeeds as the investigation progressed. She admitted to killing 7 men in all, and she gave shocking details about each crime that shocked the country. After years of uncertainty and suffering, the families of Wuornos's victims finally felt some closure upon her capture. The story of America's first female serial murderer fascinated journalists and true crime lovers, and her arrest also set off a nationwide media frenzy. Aileen Wuornos was found guilty of 6 of the 7 murders she had confessed to in 1992 and given the death penalty. Her arrest and trial served as a sobering reminder of the threats presented by people such as Wuornos and the necessity of acting quickly to bring them to justice. Aileen Wuornos' mental state is still the focus of much discussion and investigation. Psychologists have examined her difficult history and terrible upbringing in an effort to piece together the intricate network of circumstances that caused her to carry out such horrific deeds. Wuornos' story is a sobering reminder of the devastation that can result from untreated mental illness and from childhood trauma. The tragic and notorious legacy of Aileen Wuornos will live on in the record of real crime history. Her situation generated a great deal of interest and controversy, provoking talks about the nature of evil and the boundaries of human empathy. Wuornos' crimes have a lasting effect that spans generations, leaving a path of sadness and heartache in their wake. Her experience serves as a warning about the dangers of unrestrained violence and the significance of treating the underlying causes of trauma and mental illness. Upon the completion of our investigation into the life and transgressions of Aileen Wuornos, we are left feeling deeply disappointed and incredulous. Her tragic tale is a sobering reminder of the evil that resides in every human heart and the disastrous effects of untreated trauma and mental illness.
If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content on true crime and psychological analysis. Remember to stay vigilant, and until next time, stay safe.